Now, as Emily mentioned there, Israel is reportedly insisting for now that any negotiations for a long-term truce with Hamas include a return from Gaza of Israeli civilian hostages Avira Mengistu and Hisham el-Sayed, and the IDF soldiers Oren Shaul and Hadar Goldin, both killed in action during the 2014 Gaza conflict. Well, joining us now for more is Leah Goldin, the mother of fallen IDF soldier Hadar Goldin, speaking to us from the town of Kfar Saba. Leah, let me just ask you, I want to start with just your response, the way the Israeli government has handled the situation from the point of the ceasefire and, of course, the latest news coming out today.
Actually, I don't have much to contribute. I can tell you only about our effort, because since this war was imposed on us, and actually it's a direct continuation from Operation Protective Edge that never ended before, because missile shooting happened all the time, just became more massive. And as you said, Hadar was killed in violation of a ceasefire, which was brokered by the United States and by the UN, and of course we had the Egyptian as a mediator, and we are just crying out our soul to say this is the time, this is the moment, not to conclude or to include in the discussions and on the agenda, to put on the agenda the return of our boys, because this would be the victory. This would be the victory over terror, and this would be the victory of this war, awful war. And as for the officials, I'm not involved. They don't talk to me, so I don't have much to say about them.
Right. I want to just get your reaction. News that when we see Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas in the Gaza Strip, emerge from hiding to parade himself through the streets of Gaza, and reports coming today that one of his relatives is being treated in an Israeli hospital. All this going on while the situation continues, as we said, for both the civilian hostages and, of course, your son and the other soldier.
Yeah, this is very frustrating. Actually, it's against the decision of the Israeli cabinet that was on January 2017 that no Hamas families will get any humanitarian treatment in the Israeli medical center until they return our boys home. But still, it goes on. I mean, I'm not complaining about being humanitarian. As a family, we would like to see Gaza like Singapore next to us. However, they are the enemy, and they hold my son. They killed and abducted my son, violating a ceasefire. So now having this war, and again a ceasefire process is coming in, the United States actually have this moral duty to us to put this on the agenda of the discussion, and actually to put this in front of the Egyptian as an action item to bring first the boys home as a confidence-building step. Otherwise, how can we can think about the credibility of the next ceasefire?
Right. Now, you mentioned you have not been in contact, I believe, with officials during this period. But going forward, if we really do get to a step, as we reported, where there are negotiations open between Israel and Hamas directly or indirectly, and the issue of your son, the other soldier, the two civilian hostages does come up, do you feel the government should be consulting with you and the other families about, for example, as you know, a lot of discussion about what price Israel should pay here, how it should handle this as compared to some of the other hostages deals, for example, that of Gilad Shalit?
Yes, they should definitely consult with us, because I mean, we are now 7 years, very long years, since August 1st, 2014. And what that is happening to us is that actually terror wins, because Hamas insists to handle the return of our boys as on a separate channel, claiming for the release of terrorists, sentenced terrorists from jail. Israel. So this is not an option anymore since the Gilad Shalit and since Netanyahu actually handled this agreement. But now, this is not the right discussion. Now we are in war. I mean, we are at the end, or actually at the ceasefire process of the same war. So now the discussion should be how to, let's say, convince terror that holding our soldiers and civilians is a liability rather than an asset. And since the whole world, led by President Biden and having the Egyptian as a mediator, and of course all the other good countries that would provide humanitarian aid to Gaza, to reconstruct Gaza, this is the time, according to the UN Security Council resolution 2474, agreements that are initiated after an armed conflict by the UN members, they are responsible. Those good countries are responsible to return the missing person and the dead as a confidence-building step. So this is now the obligation of everyone, including Israel, to demand the return of our boys as a confidence-building step to any further discussions.
All right, Leah Goldin, let's hope that the suffering of you, your family, and the other families involved will at some time soon come to an end, and this issue will find resolution. Leah Goldin, thank you for joining us on I-24 News.
Thank you so much.